remembering the pastime that she had with Krishna before. And she was saying that I remember that in between the Rats, Krishna, when I couldn't keep the steps properly with him because of my absorption at his lotus feet, he used to mock at me, looking at me like this. You don't know how to dance. Because there is a whole big ring of the gopis and they are all dancing and each gopi has two Krishnas, this side and this side. Radharani is there in the middle, with Krishna. So everybody is having a particular step. Some town is there. It is not like sometimes you hear in the Mangala Arati. You see Karaka one more like this, like this, and it sounds so horrible that you think, why did I come to Mangala Arati? Because it's not 1 1 2, it is not 1 1 and a half 2, it is not 1 and a half 3. It's none of this. And then if you tell somebody, they will say, oh, we are not into all these things, Bhakti Sankirtan, even a prostitute can sing like this. Quotation and citation, this moment. Quoting and citing. So much quotation. That is true, but when did Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, don't play the khartal properly? When did he say that? He didn't say that. When did they tell you should sing the Hollywood tune in the Mangala Arati? All these 4 out tunes in the Mangala Arati. Mangala Arati, there is a particular tune to sing. And Sandhya Arati, there is another tune to sing. Bhog Arati, there is another tune to sing. This is called culture. Another is called culture. Just have a stand here and dance with the big khartal, stand like a celebrity. It's also rules for dancing. I want dancing. ISKCON dance is famous all over the world. The great Gandharva came here to teach us this dance. The Vishnu Jan. He went to Gandharva Loka Prabhupada. He came from there and he went back there. So this beautiful dancing is there. It is not that dancing means you just snatch everyone from the middle and push them out of the side of the temple and you just go there like a sunset. It's not that. It's not that. And neither you do the duck dance. And some people, before unfortunate, they don't dance. The Mangala Arati, beautiful Krishna is going on. Sometimes beautiful Krishna is also there. So it's going on, you sing it. And the world is your heart. The whole world is here in front of Radha Madhava, singing Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Can't you raise your hand? What happened to you? Why it has to be here? What are you doing? Why don't you lift your hand? Sri Krishna Chaitanya means lift your hand. And Srila Prabhupada invoked Sri Chaitanya's name in the Western world in the Ratha Yatra. He lifted his hand. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Raise his hand. Not that we stand like this in reality. Suddenly some special meditation goes on during Mangala Arati. Somebody is walking up and down chanting Hare Krishna at that time. Somebody is chanting Gayatri, Gayatri, so many different things. But Mangala Arati is for Mangala Arati. Give me a break. It is for Mangala Arati, not for anything else. Management discussion, all these things, construction, planning, development, everything Mangala Arati only. Other times we simply sleep. We can feel nothing is happening. Only Mangala Arati is so much management. Why so much management? Simply damagement. It's not management. Mangala Arati means you meditate on Krishna. You start the day. That is why it is Mangal. Otherwise it will be Amangal. Inauspicious. Prabhupada always he encouraged everyone to dance, not just sit back like that, like Abraham Lincoln said. This is not Hare Krishna movement. Hare Krishna movement means dancing. Always chanting and dancing. Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? Chanting, dancing, taking prasadam. What is the difficulty? You chant and dance when you are tired, take prasadam. When you take prasadam, you feel strong again you dance. Again you chant. With the dancing, we will dance our way back home, back to God. Prabhupada ended one lecture like that. We will dance our way back home, back to God. Thank you very much. We will just dance our way back. So Daya Goswami, he described the beauty of how when Radharani was talking about Krishna mocking at her dance. And then she also described the beautiful form of Krishna. And this particular thing happened in Vrindavan when it was spring. And when Radharani looked at any particular branch of the tree, immediately new leaves came in there to make her become peaceful. The whole material nature was assisting her. They were trying to console her. Don't worry, Krishna will come. And fruits and flowers, they were all coming everywhere. It was so beautiful. And every time a leaf moved, Radharani was thinking, now Krishna is coming. Does it sound? Who is Krishna? There's no Krishna. Oh, there's no Krishna. This way she was feeling with the Krishna. When Jayadeva Goswami sang the song about the leaves, all the branches of these trees, they developed new leaves, fresh leaves. When he spoke about the flowers, new flowers came. When he spoke about the fruits came. And one big fruit fell on the head of Mishra Babu. And then he said, huh? Just kind of. Then Lakshman said, carry him to Orissa. Don't stop anywhere, he won't leave. Because we were sent back to Orissa. So in this way, there were so many people trying to pull the king off from Jayadeva's mercy. And Jayadeva, he didn't even, when these things happen, when people come around Jayadeva, it says, Jayadeva says, just think of Krishna. Just think of Krishna. Why you are doing all this? Think of Krishna. In this way he was writing Gita Govinda. Then he came to one path. In that path he was mentioning that Radharani was so angry because she found a dot on the cheek of Krishna. And she got very upset. You see, dot busting is not a new thing. You have heard about dot busters? Dot buster means in America there is a young guru going motorbike. When they see anybody with a dart, then they immediately pull them in the middle of it and beat them up. They think that this Indian culture is taking over there, so they have some racism. So dart busting is nothing new. In Gita Govinda you find dart buster too. Radharani is the first dart buster. When she saw the dart, and she complained, and she will not, Mahaguru Manini, she went like this. And she was all angry. And Krishna said, but I'm I was plucking some flowers for bringing to you, and maybe some other gopis are there plucking flowers, and their dad would have said, I don't know. Like Radharani said, keep the rules. He said, don't do this salad to me. You're trying to cheat me. You're so cunning. I know. I don't want to see you. And instead her heart was breaking into 15 million pieces. How am I able to say that I don't want to see him? In the meantime, her pride was so much that I will not look at your face. The Krishna came there and said, Radha, you're my life. There's nothing except you for me. For you, I will give up anything. What do you want me to do? I have already taken the poison of your separation. Now don't give me any more. And then she said, I heard this many times. Now then you go, and then you do whatever you like, and then you come back, sing a poetry, please me, and no, this time, no. Then Krishna got, he went on his knees. He went to Radharani, said, please keep your lotus feet on my head. And he took the crown off. So when Jayadeva was writing this, already he was in tears. He was writing this song, and he was in tears, thinking that how much intense affection Radharani has for Krishna, and how so much affection of Krishna is to Radharani. And he was crying, and all the palm leaves were wet, and he couldn't see because of the flow of the tears. And somehow he was writing, he came to that line, and he stopped. And he said, what? What am I writing? Krishna is asking Radharani to keep the feet on his head. Then he took it off. And he was holding his heart. Then he called, Padmavati! That was his wife. And Padmavati came running there. And he said, oh my Lord, what happened? He was holding his heart like this. So she gave him a glass of water. And he took him on one side, started fanning him with the peacock feather. And trembling, Devi said, Padma, you look at this, what I have written. She looked at it. And she said, yes, you said that Krishna was begging for advice from Radharani, and he was telling that, please keep it out. Immediately, Devi got up and closed her mouth. Don't say that. How can this happen? How can I write that Krishna is asking for the lotus feet of Radharani on his head? So then Padmavati said, oh, come on, Prabhu. But you are describing these pastimes not from your mental speculation. You are seeing them, and you are describing them. So, did this happen? Yes. So then she said, then, what's wrong in writing them? How this world will understand. Already in my book, I have come across many places that people are going to misunderstand Krishna. They are going to misunderstand Krishna as a mundane pastime between a man and woman. And now I don't know, but somehow or other, Krishna is only revealing these pastimes to me. I am writing them, but I don't know why I wrote this. Here Padmavati said, just leave it now. Go and take bath. Come back, take lunch. Take rest. After rest you get up, you will be clear. And he said, yes. So, he took his eyes and he went to the river. And Padmavati quickly cooked a nice meal. Because, now this person is in higher realms now. Anything can happen. The heart may stop. So she cooked a nice meal, cleaned the house, and stayed in. And then she heard the knock on the door. She went out. And it was not enough time yet. When Devi goes to take bath, because wherever he goes, he doesn't just go and do the thing. He goes there and looks at the river. Yamuna. And then it goes on for about 4 hours. So he never comes back in time. So she knows if he comes back in time, something is wrong. So she said, what happened? The river is flooded. He said, no, I took that. I came quickly. He said, I don't believe it. He said, I came quickly because I have to write that verse. He said, oh, all right, come. He said, sat down quite nicely. Give me a little more of this. Yes, only this much. What will you eat? I only eat your remnants. There will be no remnants today. It's so nice. He was serving. He was eating. He finished almost everything that was good. And then he went back. He said, bring me my pen. He took the pen, took the family. Devi Tavapada Ballava Mudaram. And then Padmavati said, but yes, this is what Krishna did. So why shouldn't I write it? This is how it is. It will be written like this only. I don't care. Then she said, oh, whatever you want, you are my Prabhu. You write this way, you write that way. I don't know. You are seeing this pastime, I am seeing your pastime only. I don't see any other pastime. So all right. So then he went to rest. And she closed the door. And she came out. And she didn't want to take prasad, because if he takes the spoon, and it may make a sound, and he will be disturbed. So she just was sitting there waiting that let him get up, and then I will take my prasad. Then she heard another knock on the door. She said, who is this? As soon as my husband starts taking rest, somebody comes. As soon as he thinks I will take rest, somebody is there. He said, I'm not going to let these people. He said, quickly, he opened the door. He said, stop. And then she saw this figure in the window looking like this. Hey, Padmavati, what? Who is crying about my head? She went in there, took the spoon in the hand and said, give you a permission. And whom did she see? That was Jaidas. And he started reading like this. He looked this side. And through the window in the bedroom, there was Jaidas sleeping there. And there was Jaidas standing here. And then she thinks to herself, Jaidas was telling from outside, Padmavati, open the door. I want to write that verse. She went back there, opened the window and looked there. And Jaidas was gone. With a smile on his face. Then she came back here. The Jaidas said, what happened to you? Why you are running in and out? Let me in. I want to write the verse. So now he said, are you my husband? They said, usually people call me insane. The only reason they visit me and give me a house in this village is because you are there. Now you also become insane. What happened to you? You read some of my poems. Then she said, no, but you, he said, can you please let me in? People on the other side, they are watching and standing out and calling your name. They are closing the door. What they will think of me? And she quickly opened the door, letting him close the door. And then she said, but Prabhu, you look at this place. I have only cleaned the place, but the pots are here. It's all empty. I threw the meat here. It's still there. No dogs have come. You just ate prasadam and you rode away and you went to sleep. Deva said, what? I am hungry. I just took bath and come. And I was in the bank of the river thinking of Krishna. It took so much time for me, as usual. So, but you can't. So I can't well. So the both of them went in there. And then he opened the door, and on the bed there was nobody. He said, no, he went there, took the bed sheet, took the pillow, looked underneath, looked over, looked on the roof. How is that Deva gone? And the Deva said, what are you looking for? For you. I am standing here. Why you look under the bed for me? You ate all the prasad before me, and it intoxicated you. Now you are looking for me when I am talking to you. And she said, no, Prabhu, you ate the prasad. I ate the prasad. I am hungry. What is this? Then she said, I will show you what happened. She went there, brought the palm leaf, and showed it to him. Look, you wrote this verse. Then look. Dehi Sab Pada Pallavam Udharam Dehi Sab Pada Pallavam Udharam. Be charitable unto me, Udharam, Dehi, give me, Sab Pada, your feet, Pallavam, lotus, flowers. Please keep those lotus feet on me. And then I looked at it. He said, Padmavati. Then she knows, when he calls in that tone, the next thing is unconscious. So immediately she brought some pillows. Yes, Prabhu, here. So that is yours, that is why we talk of that is yours. He just said, Padmavati. And he goes unconscious. So he just knelt down there and she was shining and shining. And after a long time when he woke up, he said, Padmavati, you know who can? Then he said, how do I know? She looked just like you. And he disappeared. Some kind of magician. So then as soon as she mentioned the word magician, immediately there was a magician. Yes, the great magician. Radharani also called him magician. Where is my family? Give it. He started writing the next word. In this way, Sri Krishna personally came to write this verse in the form of Devadeva Goswami. And Devadeva Goswami, after this incident, he became a little confident so that he can write that verse. Anyway, today we are a little longer, so I will stop this discussion here, and we will continue tomorrow about Devadeva Goswami and Padmavati and the various other pastimes. Devadava's life history is an ocean of such beautiful incidents. His Diksha, his Karunya, his Kshama, all these great qualities of Vaishnava devotees, they were practiced in his life. These are such wonderful stories, there's no end to it. So maybe we have to continue this for 2 more days to find out the more glorious pastimes of Sri Devadeva Goswami. It doesn't mean that we are going to just get out of this hall now, unless we perform some Harinam Sankirtan. absorbed in love of Godhead, Sri Krishna. He is a precursor in our life. He made the beautiful garden of the path of profound devotion in the feeling of separation. He prepared the garden for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come and dance. It is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that Mahaprabhu used to listen to the songs of Chandidas and Vidyapati and Ramananda Rai, Jagannath Vallabh Nataka, and to mention the topmost, Gita Govinda. So the author of Gita Govinda and the experiencer, the sadhaka of Gita Govinda is Srila Jayadeva Goswami. And he had two assistants in experiencing this Krishna prema. One was Lakshmana Singh, the king. The other was Padmavati, his wife. So, there are different opinions by different scholars in their footnotes that Jayadeva was describing the intimate pastime because he was kind of a person afflicted with the affection for his wife Padmavati. But when Jayadeva mentions in the Gita Govinda Padmavati, Jayati Padmavati Sukasamaje, he actually means Padmavati. Here he means Radharani. He is not meant to describing his wife's glory. It is a fact his wife's name was also Padmavati. But this doesn't mean that he was only absorbed in describing the glories of his wife. Actually he was describing Padmavati here means Radharani. One of the names of Radharani is Padmavati. His wife's name was Padmavati, but Padmavati Dasi, also. Just like Jayadeva, he also mentioned Jaya Deva Hare. It does not mean he's glorifying himself. Very obvious. He's looking at himself, Jaya Deva Hare. Oh, Supreme Lord, myself. He is not a Mayavadi. So, when he says Jayadeva, that means Krishna. When he says Padmavati, that means Radha. Of course, his name was Jayadeva, because that is the traditional system to name one after God. So at least by calling him, people will be chanting God's name. Instead of naming them Jiki, Miki, Siti, Tati, Liki, Tati, all these, Abhasabdha. So there is the tradition that somebody is named after Krishna, Radha, at least Shiva, Ganesh, something. At least Laddu, Gulab Jamun, gold, silver. Instead of just calling him some Tiki, Tati, Tiki, Maki, Miki, Miki, what's his name? So Jayadeva was in great absorption of feeling separation from Krishna. And his main worshipable deity, the main worshipable character in his heart was Radharani. Because of Radharani's unlimited love for Krishna, he just stood there and completely amazing at the unlimitedness of Radharani's affection for Krishna. And he was begging, just give a drop of it to me. This is our line, that, oh, energy of Krishna, please engage me in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. That is the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra means, Hare means, oh, energy of Krishna. Who is this energy of Krishna? This energy is Srimati Radharani. Please help me to engage in the devotional service of Krishna. So this is Jayadev and Padmavati. There may be hundreds of different opinions, but we simply take the opinions of the Acharyas. Mahajanayana Gata Supanta. So now, we discussed yesterday how Padmavati was always ready on hand to assist Jayadeva in his pastime. But we didn't discuss yesterday where this Padmavati came from and how did she come. So we'll do a little flashback on our story and go back a few years. In Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri is situated on the bank of Mahodadi, the great ocean. This Bay of Bengal, as we call today, originally known as Mahodadi. And the other ocean, Arabian Ocean, is known as Gurukul. Who can give me the answer for this? What is the other ocean called? Paschimodadi. Paschimodadi means Eastern Ocean, Western Ocean, and Mahodadi means Great Ocean. So this Mahodadi is considered as a very auspicious part of the ocean to take back. Because the ocean is all connected to the ocean. 3/4 of the planet is ocean. But everywhere in the ocean, one cannot take back. This may not apply to Australia. Everywhere they find a little gas and little gas in the ocean. But this is different. You can't take back in the ocean anywhere you like. There are places where one is supposed to take back. All over the coast of Paschimodadi and Mahodadi, there are different holy spots. And among them, the top most holy dham to take back in the ocean is Jagannath Puri. And if one takes back in Jagannath Puri ocean, then he gets the same result as seeing the deity of Lord Jagannath. So we don't have to bother that some people don't let us inside the temple. All that we have to do is jump in the ocean. It is equal to seeing the Lord Jagannath. And if you are really interested in seeing Lord Jagannath, just go to Preeti Albert Road in Calcutta. There is Jagannath there. Are you really interested in seeing him in a bigger ocean? Then we should go to Los Angeles. That we can see Lord Jagannath. So, that is what Prabhupada wrote to one devotee. If you're really interested, come to Los Angeles, you will see Jagannath. Don't force yourself into this thing. So Mahodadi Ocean was there, and millions of people were waiting for a particular auspicious moment to take back. There are various days for Samudra Snan. So one of these days, there was a lot of people trying to take back. And there were these young Brahmin couples. They came from Andhra. They were there, waiting there, and when the time came, when the conches blew, everyone jumped in the ocean. And they took back, came out, again took back, again came out. They kept taking back, till everyone finished their snan, and they all left. They were still taking back. So then, some priest was there. He came in there and he asked, wait. What is this? You've decided to die or what? You keep taking back, it's already moonlight. So they said, we have come with a particular motive. And he said, what is that? So the Brahmin replied that we have gone to so many temples. We don't have any children. So we are praying to Lord Jagannath to give us a child. Whether it is male or female, we will give this child back to Jagannath. This priest gave a big laugh. What is this? We don't have a child. You ask for a child. And you say, when you get the child, you will give it up. So what is the use? He said, no. We simply want to have the bliss of bringing up that child. And then we will give it back together. So the Brahmin said, sure. Then they said, yes. So he said, then why is this jumping in the ocean? He said, we heard that if we jump in the ocean, it is equal to seeing Lord Jagannath. Which means Jagannath is inside the ocean. And one time jumping, we didn't find. So we are again jumping. We will keep jumping till we see. So the priest said, oh, don't bother. He is there, he is seeing you, but you are not seeing him. So maybe you should go to the temple and circumambulate the temple, and then after the last offering is finished, around 10:30 in the night, there is the last offering. And after this goal is over, one particular group of priests known as Vikris, they come out and they freely distribute Mahaprasad, the last offering. So you take some of that Mahaprasad, and then on the left hand side of the parikrama, there is this big stone. You lay on that stone and you pray to Jagannath, please tell us, what is your answer? Then you will get some instruction. So they went there and this parikrama many times they went around, and sometime when they are coming around, suddenly they are stopped because they are carrying the bowl for Jagannath. And again they come around, second time, again they stop. Because bowl is going every 5 minutes. Jagannath is eating all day. Indrajimna Maharaj got this benediction from Lord Jagannath that his hand should never dry. He should keep eating. One time he has eaten and washed his hand and shouldn't dry. Before that, again, bowl should come. Sapanna Bhogi. He just eats whole day. Main activity of Jagannath is eating. So you can't find time just to do that because they are supposed to wake him up at 2:45 in the morning, sometimes they get late, then they wake him up at 6 o'clock. So all the offerings from 2:45 to 6 o'clock come in one stage in front of him, and he has to eat all that. By the time, then the 7:30 offering, the 7:45 offering, the 8 o'clock offering, and the offering keeps coming, and keeps eating. So this is Jagannath, it's a big eater. So they waited till the final eating was over, and the Vikris came, they were distributing prasad, and then the Brahmin was sitting down. So the final roundup of the Pandas, they were going around, kicking everyone out of the temple. The sadhu stopped and said, hey, what are you doing here? Get up. No, he has come with a purpose. He wants Jagannath to talk to us. So then the Pandit said, we come here every day, he doesn't talk to us, he's going to talk to you. He said, no, but one priest told us that we should lay down on the stone, and then on the stone, and then we should pray, then Jagannath will talk to us. Alright, great. You don't move around here, otherwise the soldiers of the king, they will say that you are peace. Just lay down one spot. So they were sitting there, and then this Brahmin, he was praying. Shri Padmanabha Purushottama Vasudeva Vaikunta Madhava Janardana Satrapani. Hey Padmanabha, Lotus Naval Lord, Purushottama, this is the Lord of Jagannath Puri. He is known as Purusha Uttama, Supreme Person. That is why Jagannath Puri Dham is known as Purushottama Kshetra. Sri Padmanabha Purushottama Vasudeva. And this Purushottama, who looks a little different, he's got no hands, he's got big wheel eyes, he looks like Dandapayar advertisement. But he is not nobody else. Try to understand, he is Vasudeva. Sri Padmanabha Purushottama Vasudeva. Vaikunta Madhava. And who is this Vasudeva? It's not just some cowherd boy from Mathura, Vrindavan. No, Vaikunta Madhava. He is Madhava from Vaikunta. He is the Lord of Radharani from Vaikunta. That means he is coming from Golok, original Krishna, Purushottama. Vaikunta Madhava Janardana. Now what is he doing here? He is coming from Vaikunta. What is his job here? Janardana, protecting his devotees, protecting all the souls. That is his purpose. Janardana. And how does he do that? Satrapani. He has Sudarshan in his hand. Paripranaya sadhunam vinasaya dushkridam dharma samstavanarthaya sambhavan yuge yuge. Whenever there is irreligion giving trouble to the devotees, then Paritrana Sadhuna. Krishna says, I will protect my devotees. That is why he is Chakrabani. Vaikundamadava Chakrabani. In this way, glorifying Krishna, the Brahmin took rest. And in his dream came Lord Jagannath. Jagannath and Balaram and Subhadra. He saw his figures walking out of the temple and climbing the steps down like this. Because, there's nothing there, no legs. It's a particular stage, Purmavasta. So the Lord was walking like this. That's how he moves. As he moves like this. When they bring him out for the chariot, how do they move him? The bottom is like a curve like this. So they hold his hand and they take him like that. He has a big crown on his head and he moves. This way. It's known as Pohundavijaya. That's how Lord Jagannath comes. He moves by his own will. Sometimes about 60 pandas, heavy duty pandas. They are holding and shouting, Hariva, 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 and he doesn't move. And they get so frustrated, they just lean on him like that. And whenever he wants to move. He says, no, Rama has decided already to put Pancharaksha aside. He was given a take out. So they lean on him, they lean on his hand like this, and they hang on his hand, and they do anything like that. Anything they like they do. And if you tell them anything, they say, Amar Kalya. He's our Blackie. He will do anything with it. Who are you? So they bought him by their love and affection. So, they sometimes hang on the hand. Sometimes I have seen they just holding Balaram's hand like this and hanging on it, just like in a minibus in Calcutta. They hang on. They hang on Balaram's hand. So, maybe you should, one of you should just move there and give my seat. So, in this way, Jagannath, he moves by his own will. And he was coming by his own will. The Brahmin saw that Lord Jagannath was coming out of the temple. And he was laying down, his kind of half sleeping. And he was saying, hey, did you see those three figures coming? In the dream. His wife said, yeah, it looks that is Balaram. And before Balaram was Sudarshan coming out. Whenever the baby comes out, the Sudarshan comes. Chakrabani, the Chakra is next to him. When they met Lord Jagannath from the big green trunk, they were cutting in a particular way that a big log of wood is left from there. They just take that wood, keep it like this and paint it. That's how Sudarshan. Now, wonder, how is Sudarshan a big long stick? But in that stick, in the middle is painted Sudarshan. Then why it is a stick? Because it was a big trunk of tree, and they carved Jagannath from there. There is no joining. It's one carving. And there is one side left. And that whole thing, they treat the whole tree as Lord Jagannath. So they don't want to just make a wheel from there and throw the rest. So they keep the whole log there. And in the middle of the log is painted Sudarshan on both sides. So the Sudarshan comes first. Another day in this Purana class, we will discuss how they make the body of Jagannath. It's a very interesting program they have. Once in 12 years, they change the body of Jagannath. That we will have another day. So, Lord Jagannath was coming out. Balaram in front, Subhadra in the middle, and Kaliya in the back. It's very slow. He was taking his head like this, and he was moving this way and that way. Then the Brahmin was saying, oh, Jagannath, we have come to see you, and you are coming down from the altar, crossing these steps, and coming to us to talk to us. Jagannath came very close, and he looked at him like that. He got his big eyes next to him. He was shivering. So then Jagannath said, my dear Brahmin, I am very pleased with your devotion. You really want to have a sight? So then the Brahmin said, yes, I have everything else. I have knowledge, I have this, I have that, property, so many things, but what I don't have. A child. You please give me a child. So then Jagannath said, alright, but you have already made a promise. If you get a child, you give the child to me. You can have it, it's your child. You just have your child. You just bring the child outside, make sure that if the child won't pass through your thing. That's how we want it. Once that training is here, then we will give the child back to you. So then Balaram said, you prefer a boy or a girl? Oh, that's not matter, anything, boy, girl, anything. So, then Balaram said, you sure you will be able to keep this promise? Then Brahman said, what is you asking me? But I will be sure to keep the promise. Who first of all gave the idea of this promise? You gave the idea. So you gave me the strength to keep the promise too. Then Balaram looked at Jagannath and he said, he knows his lot. He doesn't give him the benefit. So the boy, they blessed him. Yes. Shigrameva santana prapti. And then they disappeared. So the dream broke and the Brahmin got up. And my God, what did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? No. Did you hear what he said? No, I'm asking you, did you hear? Well, I heard, but I also heard. How did you hear? What I dreamt? Oh, you dreamt. But I dreamt too. Then she said, but you are in my dream. And he said, you are also in my dream. Well, then we all have the same dream. So then the Brahmin said, yes, now it is better for us to follow all the religious principles very nicely, because Balaram has blessed us, and we are going to get a child. And he will give me the strength to give up the child too. So all that we have to do now is perform our duty very nicely. So they went on a pilgrimage, continued the pilgrimage for a while. And somehow or other, they just couldn't leave Purusha down. They went somewhere here, there, Ganga, Jamuna, but they came back. And they stayed in Jagannath Puri. And by course of time, this lady got pregnant. And then they were given a female child. And when she was born, the mother, she had a dream that in the dream she saw Jagannath. And then, next to Jagannath, she saw Radharani. And Jagannath was calling Radharani, Padmavati, and he was talking something. So when the mother woke up in the morning, she told her husband that I saw Jagannath calling Srimati Radharani as Padmavati. So our daughter should be named the servant of Padmavati. So she was given the name Padmavati Dasi. And this little girl slowly started growing up. And when she was only 3 years old, the mother was taking her and going in the street. And they were living in a village very close by Jagannath Puri. And she was going in the street to show her the cow, and show her the cart, bullock carts which were going, like that. So they saw a cow with a cart there standing, and this cow was for some reason shaking the head like this, because some mosquito or something was biting him. So then the cow do that, it's shaking this way, shaking that way. But the cow had a bell on the neck. So when the cow was shaking the head like this, in a particular way, the bell was ringing. And the bullock cart which was moving in their place, they have this nail in the wheel. And if it is not properly fixed, then the particular sound comes when the wheel is rolling. It goes rick, and the bell is ringing. Ding, down, ding, down. So this little baby was beating the mother on the shoulder. And then the mother said, don't beat me, look at that cow, look at that cart. And the baby is beating. And then in the street was a musician. He was going by. And he saw this. He stood there and he was watching. What Padmavati little girl was doing, she was keeping rhythm with the creak, crack, ding, dong. Creak, crack, ding, dong. Creak, crack, ding, dong. That's what she was doing. But she was sitting there, she was beating the mud.